Setting supernatural survival horror within a post-apocalyptic world decimated by nuclear Armageddon, Metro 2033 packed tremendous atmosphere into a fascinating but flawed first-person shooter that remained memorable despite its issues. Metro Last Light returns to this harsh subterranean realm. The experience is a familiar one, as bleak as before, but free from much of the first game's awkwardness. Last Light draws you even deeper into the pitched battle to stay alive in the dark subway tunnels beneath Moscow's irradiated surface.
If we don't fight for our lives in this new world, we'll be devoured.
Picking up the story where the original left off, you'll see Last Light through the troubled, weary eyes of Artyom, a battle-hardened survivor with a peculiar psychic connection to the creatures called the Dark Ones. Having made a tough decision that all but wiped them out of existence in the previous game, Artyom begins this new chapter guilt-ridden and full of lingering questions. Word that one of the creatures survived leads him down a fresh rabbit hole as he's pushed to hunt down the beast by his higher-ups.
And thus, our incredible show continues.
But bigger problems quickly unfold as rival underground factions arm up and speed towards a civil war over control of a doomsday device. Through it all, droves of mutant abominations continue to pick off anyone foolhardy enough to wander beyond the barriers. The excellent story-driven campaign is full of multifaceted characters and gripping set-piece encounters that define a believably grim landscape for the tense action. Newcomers who never played Metro 2033 won't miss out on much by diving into this all-around superior sequel, since the intro sequence quickly establishes the situation and your motivations for action, while physically connecting you to the character almost immediately.
And I did.
Heavy atmosphere and stark, moody settings depict the toll the apocalypse has taken on the unfortunate survivors struggling to carve out a tenuous existence below ground. Bodies and debris are a common sight in this crumbling realm, and the pockets of civilization you encounter are equally worse for wear. Wandering through shanty towns full of cowering families, seedy arms peddlers, and dens of iniquity provides a full range of unique human interactions to contrast against the isolation of dark tunnels and eerily vacant cityscapes on the surface. The fact Last Light is absolutely stunning on the PC and packed full of crisp detail makes exploring and fighting through this hellish, dimly lit realm an affecting and exhilarating experience. A few years and a lot of spitshine make a huge difference on the visual front.
I, as a good communist, which I am, will vouch for you.
Blasting away mutant beasties was far more satisfying than tussling with human foes in the old Metro, but your fellow man has become a greater threat in Last Light. Armed enemies make better use of cover and are more aggressive in actively tracking you down, offering a more authentically intelligent challenge. You have to be more judicious in your aim as well, since plugging away at their more armored sections is far less effective than a carefully targeted shot. As such, stealth becomes even more important, since surprise kills conserve ammo and don't send other nearby baddies swarming your way. Silencers, throwing knives, and good old-fashioned backstabbing prove invaluable in preventing conflicts from escalating out of control. Light and darkness plays into this nicely too. Shooting out light sources and hiding in shadows is a fun tactic that lets you get the jump on enemies. There's a good balance to hunting and being hunted, and enough flexibility to let you tackle most situations with different approaches.
Hey, steady now. All right, you're on top, D'Artagnan, you are on top.
When full-on firefights do break out, heavy weapons like assault rifles and double-barreled shotguns round out more unique guns like pneumatic projectile launchers. There are pistols and explosives too, and everything can be modded and customized with a variety of enhancements. While the range of weapons isn't the most exciting on paper, their unique, cobbled-together designs tie them to the world and its fiction, which makes wielding them feel fresh and exciting. It helps that you can carry 3 different weapons at once, too, giving you a greater deal of adaptability in different combat situations.
Come, this is utter madness!
The campaign's mostly linear track keeps up a steady forward pace from one short chapter to the next, but a pressing need to scavenge whatever you can from corpses and abandoned structures helps establish a careful rhythm that keeps your mind on survival. Ammunition and other crucial resources are truly scarce, and juggling the minimal resources at your disposal adds a lot of depth and strategic consideration. For example, old-world bullets serve as the game's currency.
Come on in!
But they can be loaded into your weapons to serve as high-powered munitions in an emergency when your cache has run dry. Fire off too many of these invaluable bullets, and you won't have the purchasing power to supplement your dwindling ammo supply or modify weaker weapons further along in the adventure.
Our superiors are not on the best of terms, huh? But I say fuck that. No, fuck that. The grunts stick together, huh?
Other unique checks and balances add additional flavor to Last Light's trigger-happy moments. The air in some regions is toxic and will kill you within seconds if you don't cover your face with a gas mask. And without a steady supply of fresh filters, extended exposure to the haze could be fatal. Your flashlight constantly runs out of juice too, requiring you to stop what you're doing to hammer away on a hand-powered generator until it's ready to go again. The heightened sense of risk that results is palpable, but the tension really ratchets up when you're in the middle of caving a fanged mutant's head in or hightailing it from a gang of heavily armed troops. Last Light creates a powerfully absorbing experience, but for all its refinements, there are still a few lingering quirks. The world is immersive, but not perfect, with small glitches popping up now and then. Slain enemy soldiers can get caught up in the scenery, and there are slowdown issues that seem to occur randomly in some areas. That said, it's one of the best looking and most unique shooters out this year. The survival horror and scavenging elements bleed into the first-person shooter gameplay in clever ways, meshing with an incredible atmosphere that really sticks with you. It's a world you won't soon forget.
This monorail seems magic, doesn't it? Our kids won't know how to operate these things. And their kids will probably think this was built by the gods.
See all of our shows and game reviews now on the brand new GT app on Xbox Live, and the GT Originals iOS app too.